Okay. Um. All right. You seen the title, gonna talk about it for a bit. Actually, this idea comes from uh apparently a viewer of mine. This person usually sees me out in the downtown Lexington area. He see me and was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen you in the clubs for a while. Like, what's been going on?" And I was telling him a little bit about like what happened with me, why I wasn't coming out, and then telling him about how I was at Charles Young Park and all that. So he was essentially about to ask me like about everything that happened there, but then it was his idea actually that I make like a video um going from uh what I was doing before the shooting, during, and then after the shooting. From my perspective, of course, and I'm just going because it's just all a fucked up situation. Especially now at this recording, it's been like 2 days since the shooting. Um, yeah, uh, whatever. I'm gonna just get into it. So before that, um, I was just sitting around, didn't have anything to do. Just quit my job, and pretty much I just had all the free time in the world. So, uh, I was pretty much texting the Ron Bros, my dance buddies, who I usually go out into Lexington and we just do shit. We were trying to figure out what we were gonna do that day. The brothers actually told me uh, about um, East End Day. I found out that it was all like um, family fun, like oriented, like all that stuff, and then that they were gonna have live music and all that. uh One of the bands being there was Honeychild, and I actually I'm a fan of Honeychild, and then I've danced at like one of their sets before. So yeah, I figured, why not do it again. And I'm like, yeah, we could pull up and do that. Like, we could go over there. As I'm about to leave, I then stop, and now I'm like, oh, it's a family fun thing. I go back, and then I'm starting to talk to my wife, and I'm like, hey, do you want to come with me to this thing? Uh, you know, just bring our son, and we'll just have like a family day, and then I can also dance, and then just it's supposed to be all around good vibes and shit, and then it's just like two birds, one stone. The only reason why I didn't bring them with me, and me and my wife agreed on it was just too damn hot outside. So she has sensitive skin. My son has sensitive skin. So with that, son's gonna be pretty much cooking them if they would have came with me. But good fucking thing that they didn't come with me, because then they would have been exposed to that. So yeah. So I get ready. Um uh I get to driving. Finally arrive. It's like um a little bit before 6 o'clock or something like that. Um, I go into this parking lot. It was like the complex right next to the park. Like, it's on the same like side of the road and all that shit. I park in there. Like, I'm in the residential parking lot now, but I'm like not up front, but I'm like more like off to the side, so that like I'm at this point I know I'm not supposed to park there. Um, I gets out. I'm about to go find the brothers, and this one dude, he like asked me if I live there. I'm like nah, I don't live there, and he's like, oh, well, can't keep a car there. People in this building are pissed off, so they're gonna be calling the cops and like towing cars and shit. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, gonna go back to my car to move, and he was like, "You good?" And I'm like, "All right, I'm still walking." And he's like, "I said you're good," and I'm like, "What the fuck? What? Huh? Am I good?" And yeah, he's just like, "Yeah." Um, he's like, "Yeah, you're fine right there, but just keep an eye on your car, or something bad will happen to you." So I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And he just like walked off, and he was just like rambling and shit. And I'm like, "Okay, that was weird." Yeah, I go off and I find the brothers. We just start like chilling and shit like on this hill. It's like a little slant thing, and then it's like there's like this little stage thing on wheels, and then it's just like this whole just park full of people and shit. Like there's uh adults just hanging around there. They're shooting shit. There's kids fucking playing around and stuff on little playgrounds and all that. And it was like a big ass just block party. It like a big ass block party slash cookout or something. And like yeah, it was supposed to be family oriented, like community oriented. Yeah, we were there for a minute, and people was out there. They were getting their little line dance on and all that, and we didn't want to go up there and then be doing our shit because it would have looked like we were trying to steal the spotlight or something. Um, so it comes to the point where uh Honeychild gets on stage, and then you know they just get started on their set. The moment because I'm a fan of them. I like the band. Um, and honestly, I was sitting there trying to uh I don't know do like a partnership thing with them. Like I dance for them or whatever venues, networking, all that shit, blah blah blah. Right. So that's how much of a fan. Like I want to work with them. Um, but yeah, I figure whenever I see them at a venue, if I see them there, I'm gonna show out, and then I'm gonna you know like essentially perform with them. So we get the dancing and all that. I was dancing first for a little grip. Then I took a breather. The brothers came in, they were doing their thing, and it was like what, maybe 10, 20 minutes like into that. That's when the brothers started dancing. That's when the first shots rang off, and the first bullet that you hear go off hit the stage. So a bullet hit the stage, and then like shit was just going off, bro. Like felt like it was in slow motion for a second. Like I like at first it was just like the first shot, and then it's just like okay, like because even in the video we're all like, what the fuck was that? And then it's just boo boo boo. By the fourth shot ringing off, like everything just like slowed down, and like it was just like almost a fucking horror movie. Uh, like I seen people like over there, like in this spot where me and the brothers were sitting at, in that area, like maybe 10, like I would say between 10 and 30 feet from that spot. That's where the shooting was happening. So if me and the brothers were to sat there and like kept sitting there, we probably would have been like some of the first people hit. Or like we probably we could have got fucked up over there. And then mind you, I was about to bring my wife and kid to that. So if they were there, even though me and the brothers like got in front of the stage, and then we were essentially doing a pseudo dance performance, my wife and kid would have been still on that hill because there have been times where I brought my family around with the Ron Bros, and then just like we would just dance, like we would just do whatever, at and wherever we would meet up, like we'll just pop a squat somewhere, we'll like sit down, and then like we'll shoot the shit, and then I'll get to doing my thing, and then wherever we sat at, my wife and kid would stay there. So they would have been on that hill, probably right in the line of fire. All of us could have got fucked up. That was happening. I turned by like the fourth shot, and I tried to grab both of the brothers. Uh, I missed the younger one. I missed Geronte. Um, got Big Bro Karan. Like we just went under the fucking stage, and by the time we like took that dive and we went under there, like I'm looking around, and as people are like on that same hill, like where the shooting was happening, like I was seeing people like take the dive and whatever, like but they were like diving on their hands and stuff, and like people crawling away. I seen one person like kind of like they fell like face first and then rolled over and then he just stopped moving. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what happened. If that was like one of the people hit, I don't know. But on top of seeing that, I try to like survey and where uh Durante was, he was no longer there. And I was trying to like scan like how I was trying to observe because I used to do bouncer work and like security detail. There's an active shooter, we get down and like we take cover somewhere, we observe, we like um assess the situation. Even though it's a high intensity situation, it's definitely a high intensity, high stress situation, but we still gotta try to keep wits about ourselves to assess the situation so we can then try to find a path to exit and get gone. So that was pretty much what I was trying to do. Uh, Karan was like, "Yo, where's my brother? Where's my brother?" Like, and I had full confidence in him to find his brother, and like they got so I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "Go find your brother. Like, go find your brother. Get the fuck out of here." Kind of did like a nudge, get him up and going. Um, there was some other person like under the stage with us. Um, but yeah, that like I heard from that person like who was under there that um the gunman was running off somewhere. I guess at this point nobody had a description, and then that's when I get up from under there like after like a solid minute, but that shit felt like 5 hours that we were sitting under there. But it was like a whole minute, and I hear people like yo my man's got shot blah blah and fucking um like yo they hit a kid, they hit a baby, and like everyone's in full blown panic mode. The shit is in straight chaos right now. There's this like little old lady and she was just shaking and people were just in disarray and everyone's running past. It's almost like nobody sees this person, but I see them. And she's like shaking like a leaf. She can't move. And I go over there and I do what I can to like get them to safety. But I didn't want to like kind of grab her hand because I was in such a I was in like I had an adrenaline rush and I didn't want to like accidentally like fucking yank her or something. So I just, had her pretty much. I'm like, all right, come on, follow me, and made a path through all these people like running around, everybody screaming and shit. And yeah, by the time that we got over to like the parking lot, part of the parking lot um where I parked my car at, even with everything going on, like that little lady gave me like the softest, warmest hug. It, like it reminded me of my grandma, and she just kept thanking me. And yeah, she was telling me how scared she was. She just kept thanking me for helping her. So yeah, I helped her get to her vehicle. Once that was done, um I went to mine. I couldn't leave immediately because where I was parked at, the cops came in. They blocked off all the exits because I mean, rightfully so. They're trying to find an active shooter, or what they said was an active shooter. I mean, shit. It's unfortunate, but who knows? That person could have kept going if they wanted to. Probably. Um, So like the cops don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on really. So so yeah, I then called the brothers, and because we were just like in the vicinity, like this shit just went down. So I'm calling them first to make sure they good. And yeah, they both found each other. They got up, got gone, like I said, and they're I have full confidence that they be like they're brothers. So I I I felt confident that they were gonna you know rendezvous and get the fuck out of Dodge. Uh, so yeah, we made an agreement to just meet up somewhere later, talk about what the fuck just happened actually, and then we'll see where we go from there. To I guess try to clear our heads or something. Um, right after that, called my wife, told her about what was going on, and even she was like, "Oh my god, we almost went to that. Like we almost came up there with you. We like shit could have went down." And my son is autistic. I don't know how the fuck he would have took that. I don't know how he would have reacted to any of that. Like I don't want him to experience that. Like I just don't want my son to be around like shit like that because I've been around violent shit, and like this isn't my first time being in like a area where there's like somebody just letting off shots and all that shit, but it is my first time being that close in proximity to an active shooter, right? So yeah, I didn't think I was ever gonna have to move like that, like ever again, because it's been years, and really just to not make my mom worry. I've been in situations where it's like that, and I just didn't tell her. I don't know why. Like, and this is when I was younger, like in my 20s. Um, yeah. So, we met up way later. Once we were able to navigate the city, like actually be able to, you know, uh, me and the brothers, we sat down, we talked about it and everything, and yeah, we were pretty much just recapping, kind of like how I'm recapping now, what the fuck happened. But that was literally like hours after all that happened, and um, yeah, so we just wind up going to clubs, afterwards, but we wasn't even like really like we were doing shit, like we were like dancing kind of like how the plans were, but it was just a different it was just a different atmosphere. Like everybody else around us is like everybody's happy go lucky, and then like a lot of the people in these clubs don't even know what the fuck happened like 4 to 5 hours before that. And it was just surreal. Like it felt like I was in a dream state, like with all of that shit going on. Um, so pretty much, yo, it got to a point where somebody in the clubs was like walked up to me, like went out of their way, like from their like little group of friends, walked up to me and told me to smile. I was that fucked up that it was obvious to uh a random person, and then they're drinking and shit. By the way, like so they're already like fucking looking all loopy and shit. They walked over to fucking tell me to smile after all that shit happened, and I didn't want to kill the mood or like the vibe of like that group because like it seemed like they didn't deserve that or probably couldn't even handle it. So I just opted into not really saying anything. I'd be like, yeah, my bad. I had a long day, and so yeah, I pretty much got into that mode where I was like, okay, fuck it, I have to like, I have to dance, I have to move. Like I had so much energy from that shit. I'm like, I was like, I have to like, I gotta do movement, bro. Like, so I got to dancing, and um yeah, so I was entertaining a lot of the people in these other clubs because I mean these motherfuckers had no clue. They weren't there. They weren't at the shooting. Like for all they know, they probably came from home or like work wherever the fuck, like met up with their friends. Boom, in the clubs. I was just there at this point to dance for therapeutic reasons. That's what that was. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna show off, or like even the typical thing that I used to do where it's like, oh, I'll just go to the club just cause, and then that'll be like my exercise, and then I could also like entertain people. It'd be like two birds with one stone. Like no, I had to actually dance so that I don't lose my fucking mind with all of that shit that happened. So that happened. At some point, like a little bit after midnight, like I was just out. Um, I was just out there, man. It got to a point I got so goddamn exhausted. Like I was falling asleep standing up. I was falling asleep walking. Like I'm like just sitting there walking. I'm like, and then there's like because I'm falling asleep, it was like many time skips. So it's like I'm walking out of a place and I'm just like, boom, and I'm across the street, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What happened to me? So I was exhausted. I don't even know how I drove home without like nodding off and like crashing. Like I don't know how the fuck I was nodding off, walking on my own 2 feet. I don't know how I drove without like no issues. This has been maybe 2 days now as of me doing this. Like 2 days has passed. So I I pretty much laid low and all that stuff. Oh, that night, that's when one of the viewers came to me and then was like, asked me about how's life treating me and all that. And then I told them about how I was at the East End Day shooting. And then that's when he was like, "Oh shit!" And then he told me to, like, pretty much make a video like this in this format, and you know, pretty much just give what happened that day through my eyes, and like condolences to the family, bruh. Condolences to all the families there, all the people that got hurt, the people that are panicked, because even with the people who didn't get hit, they're still victims. There's kids now, probably they're not going to be the same. They're probably not going to be the same anymore after this because of that. Like you don't have to be hit with a bullet to be a victim. Like there were just so many people like just in shambles from what I see. It felt like I was in a goddamn war zone. It felt like I was in a war zone. Like that's the best way I could describe it. Like I'm just walking like you like it's like even those scenes in movies, right? Where it's like you like see things going on and then it's like the audio was all like it's like that ear ringing tone, and um you just see people and everything is going in slow motion, and it's like you're just observing different shit in the background, stuff that you wouldn't even give a fuck about. Now all of a sudden you're remembering all of this visual information, all this audible information. Like it's just like it's like it felt like I was in Ultra Instinct, and then it was just like I fucking was able to see everything, like everything. I was like hella in tune with just like the universe at that point. But then like after that, it was just like the crash. It was just it's a fucked up situation. And then speaking on that, apparently there was a video of like or a live stream something like that of the shooter's mother, um pretty much going off saying that she's sorry, not sorry that her fucking son did that horrible shit, and that she don't give a fuck. She didn't care like what place was it because people were jumping her son and all that shit. And I'm like, your your son's still alive. He killed someone. All right, he killed someone. Doesn't matter. You know how many times I got fucking jumped? I got beat the fuck up in school, and this is before I learned how to fight. Like, once I learned how to fight, I was a menace, yes, but like it was more like a eye for an eye type thing. I didn't think of like going to school and just airing the bitch out like that shit is crazy to me. Like I'm not gonna sit there and just like you know fucking just permanently end a like he took someone's future away. He took away their past, present, and future experiences. Gone like that. Like what the fuck? And then the sick shit. There's like people making fun of this fucking event. This goddamn tragedy, and people are like, oh, usual suspects. It's like shut the fuck up. I was there. My kids was getting hurt, bruh. Kids like there were children there, man. Like have some fucking decency. Like you're gonna do that shit, and it wasn't even like all right, like one day after 2 days ago, yo, like 10 minutes after that shit, and fucking stories was coming out. Like as the story was unfolding, right after that incident, motherfuckers was sitting there making fun of that shit. And it's like, what the fuck? But yeah, like even before that, like, bruh, if my fucking son were to do some shit like that, first of all, I would want my son to learn how to fight so that he would feel the need to not be able to do that. Because 9 times out of 10, once you're sitting there teaching your kid how to use his own power, he will in turn also learn restraint. Now, that's not always the case, but that's kind of where, because just to even learn how to fight in a way, like, you would have to also have a degree of discipline to even retain the information of combat. So, if I had a kid who did that shit, not only am I not condoning that shit, but then it's like, I might have to disown him. I would have to probably disown my own kid because it's like, bro. And then society would already like just say that, like, it was my fuck up for not being like a parent and like raising them right and all that shit. Even if I do raise them right, like, the kid's an individual, right? But then still, my question is, because with clips of the video that I seen, that mother was a little too comfortable. We're just like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight for me and mines, and like all this other crazy shit that she was saying. Where did he get that gun from? That's my question. Where the fuck did he get that gun from? Cause she was even saying in that, in her like little live thing or whatever, like, oh, shit, if somebody was doing something to my kid, oh, I'll start bucking too. It's like, oh, I can't fight, I must just start letting shit up. Like, that's why you learn. Even if you don't know how to fight, right? And you get a firearm, you should learn, like, not even with guns, like, learn fucking restraint, man. Like, learn restraint. Like, do you not understand that, okay, somebody's doing something to you, you can live from that, but then you take somebody's life, and then you like, and then if something happens, the motherfuckers want to play the victim role. Like, don't go around like, and especially you have a tool that you could instantly end someone's life in your hands. Well, depending on how you use it, but still, it like, self control, self restraint, like like something. That shit, that shit was not that serious. Again, I got fucked up as a kid before I learned how to fight. I was getting fucked up. Again, I didn't go out fucking anyways. I started blasting. Like, I wasn't doing that shit. And back then, I did know people who had access to guns. So I could have got, like, not from my own parent, but I could have gotten ordinance from somewhere else. And maybe that could have been with this kid, like, how he just had access to guns and he just fucking, like, I don't know, probably similar situation, but he decided to actually shoot shit. But with the way that mother, I don't even think she would qualify as a mother, uh to be fucking honest. um like, you already, like you sound like you were the one that supplied them with that shit. Like, that's just me. I don't know, but like, again, I wouldn't condone that shit. Like, does not fucking matter. Does not matter. Like, the only way I would even be able to get in that mode is if somebody like actually took the life of like my wife and kid. and even then, like another person would have to kill them first. Like if they did harm to them, obviously I'm going in fucking like you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But like if somebody's like bumping like up on my fucking wife or some shit, or like somebody like push my kid, I'm not gonna go like that. That's what the fuck. What the fuck. So like, and then you know if it's going on, if you like, I don't know, try to avoid the situations where they're getting jumped. Give a motherfucker a taser, like something else, not a fucking gun. And it's like, you know, like damn, it's one thing to have a gun. It's one thing to have a gun with the fucking intent to do all that shit. Because then even though you had like because I guess the fucking the shooter or whatever was getting jumped by a bunch of other kids or some shit. But even if it's that, you're still bucking in a place where there's a whole bunch of innocent people who have nothing to do with that situation. Not everybody at that fucking thing was like just looking down at like this fucking guy, and then you know he just felt the need or like whatever to just start fucking bucking and shit. Again, the first bullet hit the stage. You had to aim for that. And then one of the kids hit was a fucking 4-year-old dog. And now assuming that like the 4-year-old or whatever was like you know just like running around or some shit. Like okay, it's a 4-year-old. You would have to aim down to hit that child. Is it like you just have a fucking Joker bad day and you just took that shit out on like a bunch of innocent people who had nothing to do with that situation. That'd be like if I had a fucking problem with someone, like say I'm doing some shit in a Walmart or something, right? And I have a problem with this guy, and I had a bunch of problems with this guy, like fucking backdating like fucking months or whatever, right? I only have shit with this guy, right? But then I just nuked the entire fucking Walmart. Now I just fucked up a whole bunch of people who have nothing to do with our beef. That's what it feels like to me. Just thoughts and prayers to all the people involved. Know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fine. The brothers are fine. I kind of wish there was like something that I could have done to prevent this situation, but I mean, um, so yeah, that's pretty much all that happened. In like my experience from the like beginning, middle, and end of that day, for me. So uh yeah, like well yeah, I had to stop for a second because son's school called me. Um but yeah, that's pretty much it. Um that's pretty much what happened. People are crazy out here. So all I gotta say to that is, you know, everybody, just I guess be safe. You know, stay attentive to your surroundings. You never know what day somebody's having. Just you know, try to stay um I guess, kind and courteous. If you don't want to do that, then at least be understanding. That people may have, you know, feelings and you know shit like this. Sometimes it could just happen randomly because somebody snapped, or somebody just did it because, from what the mother said, seemed like it was just bullying. But I don't know. It seems like it seems like something deeper than that. Man. But yeah, all y'all be safe out there, man. I don't even know how to end this, to be honest. So yeah, just everybody be safe, be aware of your surroundings. Try to treat people with um kindness, respect, all that, because you never know what somebody is going to do or what they're willing to do. Anybody could get set off at any time for any reason. So yeah.